Okay. Hi, everyone. Hi, this professional high priestess. And I just wanted to say, first, Team Zorzai, right? And I wanted to say thank you to the community for the response that I received regarding the videos, the last two videos that I've been putting out regarding what's happening with our kids, what's happening with this chemical warfare, and what's been happening with like the whole cannabis industry, agricultural industry, etc. So you guys don't know. I tried to make this video just a little bit earlier, but they're playing on my phone, and it actually is going to help a lot of people with some of the things that have been going on with tapping and technology. Um, I had mentioned that one of the results of this virtual reality thing that Stephanie and them have got started is a big ass war. So when I mentioned on my channel what was going on, and I showed that map, and we were talking about what was going on and how these people are still here from the civil war, starting hella drama and causing chaos, and this is why a bunch of kids are missing. 54 people died in the last 24 hours because of that video. UK will tell you, specifically Florida, specifically Miami will tell you, Illinois will tell you, Dirk will tell you, and Rocky will tell you. And I want to say shout out to my brother for running up on those holes at Met Gala. For those of you guys who did not see, I'm going to go into that in a minute. But I wanted to say thank you because it shows that you guys are taking serious what's going on, because people are like making it seem like, oh, she's just fighting on her own, and you guys know how the world is, and that's done for. We have a new way, and we've been doing the new way. So those of you guys who don't want to keep up, you will be removed. And on Patreon this month, I'm going to be doing something on what does it mean to ban somebody from a planet, and what does that look like for public health to be banned from a specific planet, right? Now, I also wanted to mention somebody on here, and I want to say thank you to Rose. Some of you guys need to go look up her channel. Her name is Rose. You'll see it. It's called Rose and Anti Country Life. Now, Rose is a black woman, right? A black nigger bitch, right? And she lives in China, but she's from Uganda. And she married a Chinese man, right? Or it's her and her friend. Rose's husband is one of the co-founders of Alibaba. Alibaba AliExpress, where you guys get everything from. The whole entire world depends on that site and two others that he also runs. When you guys started that bullshit and that drama, because Rose was watching my channel from the beginning with Magic, because all of Uganda got lit up with somebody getting kidnapped for rituals because she wouldn't let them get access to her farm. She's been watching my channel since then. So when you guys started this, we teamed up. I taught Rose how to speak Arabic and Turkish. In less than 2 weeks, Rose has dismantled the entire global economy. That's no more plastic. That's no more chemicals. That's no more plants. That's no more supply. Right. Right. So now it's me, Rose, and one other black woman that run the entire global economy. Right. So what's going to end up happening in the next few weeks is you guys are going to see this come manifest. Yes. Because what I say goes. Right. And if I expose you for doing some bullshit, that's it for your business. You guys did not see what happened with Uber Eats, specifically in California, LA area. When I exposed what these ratchet ass Martians, not Asians, Martians, were doing, feeding people human meat, calling it Chiang, and playing with soju. First soju and Chiang, not Chiang, no soju, right? Every single business got shut down in Koreatown. I can walk through my neighborhood and show you that business opened like 3 years ago. Now it's in police. That's exactly what happened. Food out. There's only a few restaurants that are making money, and that's because I said so. This is a good restaurant to eat at. These and these and these. They're not racist. They're not delusional. They're not involved in fuckery. Yeah. So when you guys come here and you start playing with people's kids, and you're playing with brown women and black women, or just melanated people in general, and people who are properly melanated, and your melanin is activated, right? You say Team Zorzai, right? When you start playing like that, just know that there's a black or brown bitch, right? Or a nigger behind there that's dismantling your business, defunding your organization, getting you put in prison. About 16 people got arrested the minute I put that video out. And about 48 politicians were fired and removed from office. In Los Angeles, some of you guys know Isaac Bryan, the one that went to go be like, oh, I'm going to give Nipsey a walk of fame after starting hella shit and planning his death. Yeah, he got removed from office. That's really done. And now we have an Igbo Calabar woman, Karen Bass, as the mayor of LA because I said so when I casted spells. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Right? That's how she won that election. Oh, I didn't know that the mayor of LA was a black woman. Right? That spell worked exactly. So after the Garcettis, hello? Right. Now seeing, it hit. So that's all I had to say. Thank you guys so much for all the hitters in the community. I woke up to a bunch of shit this morning, including one of these karmics, get on in, having to move out of LA. Now, she went out of town. Did I lie? You guys need to go look at her page. Drake, effective immediately. You already know what the fuck I talked to you about. Handle that bitch. And stop going around like, see, I told you me and Queen are friends. We're not friends. And Kichi, you too. Handle your business accordingly. Because the drama you guys caused is outweighing the work that you're doing. I need you to put in more work. I need you to put in all the way more work because now you want clout like Kichi, right? You're not getting that. Handle your business. She's getting clout. She was given a miscarriage unjustly. And that's disgusting for what happened to her, even though she's delusional. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a reading about the Sybil's. Let's go. Team Zorzai, right? So now I can't really talk about that because you bitches already know what the fuck that is, right? And yes, for the sisters, that was me. That's Zorzai music, okay? So I want to go into this. Angel of Death messages, Sybil's. Now, you guys remember, this is like the first thing that I did on my channel. The first thing I did on my Patreon was teach you guys about the Sybil's and post this. I did post this. Remember I used to run that book club? And there was a lot of people on there, solid-ass people like, can you start that again? I may start that book club again. But if I start that book club again, I don't know what books to give you that are like not outdated spiritually. I mean, like, what am I going to give you guys? I might as well just wait and give you my books. Now, I want to show you something about my daughter, my plant. This belongs to my daughter. Look, the other day you saw these leaves that were brown all the way up to here. Now look, she's rebuilding. It's like a specific spell you can put. I'm going to give it to 2 people who watch my channel and take before and after pictures and watch your tree change. Thank you. You guys noticed it was all brown. Now look at her. She's looking great. Right. So anyways, I may start that. Or I may start doing the meditations again. I don't know. I have to meditate and see what they need me to bring down specific for this warfare, right? Why give you guys things that you don't need, eh? So now, let's talk about the Sybil's. So the Sybil's were basically high priestesses that came back and forth. They teleported from different planets to come down and settle the planet, right? The black crows or the black doves, right? So now a group of crows is called the what? A murder. It's a nightmare on Elm Street, right? I get mashed with those 223s. By the way, he's a big ass hop. But I wanted to go ahead and divinate and bring up some messages from the Sybil's because you guys keep on hearing this crow blasting through the sky, and there's 37 people in the chat as I said that. You guys keep on hearing this crow blasting, caw, 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 and you're like, why is that happening? And some of you guys may see the crow like just like this, right? Right? Invoking portal functions to show you not only can you hear me, you can see me too. Hi, I know you see me, right? I'm like, blam, blam. I know you want some. That bitch is looking at me and I have a fucking gun. I know you see it. I know you see it. By the way, Young Jock is my brother. He's telling the truth. He is on Zorzai. So stop hating, right? Team Zorzai. So let's get into it with the cards, okay? I just want to do a quick reading about the Sybil's and this Angel of Death message because you guys are going to keep on seeing more of it. What messages do you have? Team Zorzai. Messages. Team Zorzai. Messages. And by the way, thank you for all of you guys who really went to go handle stuff with Aaron. CJ is my godson, and I was there the day Aaron was giving birth because you guys went to go play with some ratchetry. So she tells people that I'm her doula. So you want to keep on playing games? Keep on playing games, baby. But I know you see. I know you see it. Let's get started. What messages do you have? Angel of Death message. Wow. Messages. Angel of Death. Obsequium, submission. 2 messages will suffice. Nope. No. Messages do you have? Team Zorzai. Is this the message? Prioritizing. Thank you. And at the bottom of the deck, you have the lion, and it says opposition. And you know, that's so funny, right? Because we're talking about Lion Federations and why bitches are leaving town because they're playing games with my brother who's from the Lion Federation and a bunch of nonsense going on, right? With the Lion Federation and people starting stuff with my other uncle, Idris Elba, and lions everywhere, right? I'm bringing the lion because you are lying, right? That's like something they say in space. And I think that this is so timely that this card is out here, so much so that I'm going to leave this out. This will help the divination. This is okay. She's been starting a lot of shit. Oh, okay. Let's look. All right. So let's look into submission and what that means. Wow. And we got prioritizing. And then I just said, you know, why give you guys something that you don't need? In this warfare, you need to learn how to prioritize. There's a lot going on. Clarify submissions. Clarify submission. This warfare, you got the 7 of Wands, block Leo energy again. Yeah, blocked. And this is also like spiritual power and defense. Again, wild ginger right here. And ginger is used to detox things that are like ingested that like hurt you and tamper with the nervous system and as well as the psychic receptors that you have in your stomach, right? And how do you know psychic receptors are in your stomach? That's how you eat edibles, right? And then they get you like high. There you go. Messages for that. Clarify prioritizing. The bullshit is blocked. It's over. And this is submission for the enemy. Judgment, right? On prioritizing. And the Hierophant. Done for. And what does this mean by prioritizing? This means that the highest high priest and the highest high priestess now run this game. So let's say, for instance, you know who you are, you know your Akasha, you know what? You should be banned from the planet. Let me just go ahead and invoke that. They're banned from the planet. You know what? Let me reset this community because I can, and the community is reset. Let me call judgment or death on you, and then that happens. So this whole entire planet has been reset. So now there's something where there's a readjustment and a prioritizing of the highest high priest and priestess and those who are training. If you're not a high priest, if you're not a high priestess, he's a high priest or a high priest. That's it for you with the judgment card here. And again, golden seal. And the funny thing about golden seal is it actually adjusts your biological clock to make you heal wounds quicker. Yes, that's what golden seal does. So there's something about time moving like really quickly and time not waiting for anybody and time bringing complete destruction to anybody that's blocking this prioritizing or trying to be the priority when the priority is the highest high priest or priestess. That's done for. So an example of that with the angel of death is OnlyFans, right? That's like, right. That's not prioritized anymore. It's the highest high priestess. Now you're going to see a bunch of hoes like, I want to be spiritual now and I want to. You did that and it resulted in hella people going missing. And now we have no herbs. Okay, great. Clarify adverse and opposition. Clarify opposition. Thank you. Adverses. Clarify adverses. You got the Eight of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords and the Devil. There's opposition to the Devil. There's and the Tower card to the Devil, and that's done for. And this is very powerful for us to get this on the opposition card with the Tower and the Devil and the Seven of Swords. And once again, what this is saying as the Angel of Death is there is no opposition. It's been destroyed with the Tower. The Devil came and we collected the Devil, and that's done. See, they always say that the Devil comes to collect, but who is the Devil collecting and then giving to? When the Devil comes to collect on a divine being, they have to submit to you. And that's why the submission is here, because you're going to see a lot of bitches that want to go play with you or goofy motherfuckers. They're going to have to submit. Now, the funny thing is, I don't care for your submission. You don't have to bow to me or anything. You can just go the fuck away. Now, one thing that you need to stop doing if you're a low vibrational person is putting yourself in a position where you get dragged to your knees. That's what's happening here. The Seven of Wands. Right? So now, this situation that I'm seeing here with this Angel of Death is we've run the gamut of drama. Seven of Wands is getting blocked spiritually, right? With the strong spiritual force, that's the Seven of Wands, right? On all levels. Then you are prioritizing. The highest high priest and judgment's getting prioritized. I don't care if you use telemagic to escape your judgment. You're going to the duat. What? I don't care if you are a judge. Get up. I'm the one judging now. That's what you're going to see on this planet. By the way, I had to just let you guys know. With this one, I kind of put my hand in something called Iao and Blie, and now there are people coming from different planets who are now taking over like city jobs and government jobs. So basically what that looks like is, why do I care that you have money? Teleport to the duat. People like that. Who are you talking to? Cut her head off. Like that. So much so that the United Nations is like missing a bunch of staff. I have nothing to do with that. Right? So now, that's this judgment card in the prioritization of the highest high priest and priestess. And yeah, you guys got yourself caught the fuck up. And you're going to see people like life in jail, not enough. Dua and Netherworld Kofai. What are you saying? You started Abu Ghraib. Go ahead and put him in the Dua Sikrai. That's the forever dua, and you go to trillions of duats at the same time. Get out of my face. So you're going to start seeing that on the planet. Just have to let you know. So now, with that being said, there's going to be a complete change to certain systems where you saw a lot of goofiness and fuckery. It's going to get like revamped and redesigned and realigned completely. So when we talk about realignment and people are like, let's talk about voting and advocacy. Let them go do that. That's just them like wasting time because that's a duel in its own, right? It's a whole illusion. Imagine like somebody's like moving you back and forth and sending you to different torture chambers with beings that talk like this, and it sounds like Dragon Ball Z on the planet every day, right? And you're talking about like elections. That's so fucking hilarious. And Obama's the president, and our president is black. My Lambo was blue, and people are getting robbed because they have like some spiritual grand theft auto, and you can't get it. That's so fucking terrifying. Now you got the Seven of Swords, right? With that ginger card, and that's the opposition. And this wood batoni is used, like I said, to make sake or tequila. Team Zorzai, once again, because it comes from Team Zorzai, they have something like this in Nigeria too. And this is when you use and you smoke it, and they put it in church. There's something with like Saleh Church where they wear all white and always like skirts. Before they started burning that other thing that smells like copal, they were burning this, but it just ran out in Nigeria. Okay, so now one of the things here is with this adverse and opposition and this wood batoni seven of swords is there's also an adversary in opposition to escapism. No more alcohol, drugs, going in the garden, and this and this and that. There's no more of that for these people. That's blocked with the devil card. Because the devil said, I'm coming to collect. What are you talking about? I need your full attention. Right, because you wanted to go call him fuckery like that. Didn't know it was literally like a motherfucker with no melanin that just wants to play games. And like, you guys know Pan, right? This is Pan from Pan's Labyrinth. Like, he was basically like a child molester. Basically, that's what he was saying. So that's what you guys called on. Now you have to go deal with that. Now, there's another thing here too, where there's an opposition to the things that people have gotten involved in that called on the devil. You mean you did what for spiritual powers? So that's how you've been getting all this money? You were playing with magic? So there's like a complete opposition in this war because truths are coming up with the Seven of Swords and the Tower card. And then again with opposition in garlic, and we're talking about like herbs. People are not even being able to find herbs. I went to the store today, I couldn't even find basil. I was like, what the fuck? Right. There's so much going on the planet. Be very careful. This tower will be your reality, and that's what these symbols are saying here. Clarify the Seven of Wands, please. What's the Seven of Wands? On Team Zorzai. What's the Seven of Wands? What's the Seven of Wands? And you got change. Yeah, you got change. And then the funny thing is, the false person wanted to come out, but my deck was upside down, right? Oh, she's really betwixt and in a way. Because with this submission card, the karmic was really betwixt and in a way because she thought that, oh, being a false person and being goofy was going to start a bunch of shit until God readjusted and realigned everything, right? This is a major realignment. You guys have seen this in Book of Revelations, the lake of fire. That's all that just happened. This is the lake of fire. We're in it now. Bitches are getting burnt up by brimstone, aka Eow and Blie and Biao. And now Eow, let me see. Wow. Right? And now we're in a place, right? Right? So now we're in a place where now things are getting activated. Saw the money got activated. You better get activated on that shit, right? And here, this is also someone who wants a spiritual protection with the submission. So there's something too about motherfuckers knowing, like, oh, let me pack up and leave. Get on. Nah, I'm on the run. Didn't I tell you these karmics are going to be on the run? Nah, I'm on the run. Right? Getting exposed, false person, Seven of Swords out here. And this is also too, when we're talking about this, it's like the karmic that they were going to play a specific game and that's done. And now we have certain things that are blocking karmics. Like we have Yao and Blie, which I can't even tell you what this actually looks like because the chemical sequence is unknown. So you can take this and test it, and it's going to say chemical sequence unknown because it's a collection of plants from space that only I can identify. That some of you guys think are weeds, and you put certain ones together, and it creates different demon bodies that destroy dark magic and ratchet bitches and the devil. Now it's not a demon; it's a daemon. Thank you. Right. Not like Damon Lillard or Damon something. He's a high priest, right? So there you go. There you go. And Matt Damon, he did have Angelina Jolie beat the fuck up. So I'm glad that his name is coming up, Damon. So now, with this being here and the submission, hi Tyrese, I know he watches my channel. Sweet lady, would you be mine? That's not your mate. She's using magic. Thank you. So now, let's keep on moving to the submission. Thank you. Because all that bullshit is getting hit. Now, on this double card is Lobelia. Lobelia is a specific herb you calling Eow that's not on this planet when you want to tag team bitches playing with love spells. So be quiet. Be very fucking quiet. Team Zorzai and Tyrese is on Zorzai when he stops getting like different bitches like going to Escott to use his daughter's umbilical cord to put magic on him. So that's where we have prioritizing. Should I continue to play with this nigga even though he's saging himself, right? With the sage and clearing out the bullshit and he's a high priest and waking up, right? Or should I continue to play games with my big ass forehead that says I will never divinate and start a bunch of drama just because I can? Well, who told you I wasn't around? And kill that bitch, right? So now there's an owl that will appear. And she's going to like have a message for us in a few minutes, right? Wow, you guys are fucking horrible. So this prioritizing, again, you got family room. With this prioritizing, it's you getting together with your team. What are we gonna do about our kids going missing and all this bullshit? Well, we can like say we're doing legal stuff. Let's do that. And on the front end, right? And then on the back end, we're gonna be working with Queen and other people in our community in our hood because there's a high priest and high priest in your city. I'm in your city. By the way, he got shot for that. Thank you. And thank you, High Priest, for handling that. Now, you can go ahead and call High Priest or High Priestess in your hood, in your city, to help. You guys get together. This is what people have been doing. Or that's why you see mass groups of people outside, like, oh, it's like the 90s again. It's a freak Nick. No, you will get shot, right? Or you can start handling things with violence. Right, which is also the 7 wands, because that's Mars and Leo. So this is saying a lot, right? So now there's a prioritizing of what should we do? Let's get together with our squad and our federation. There's a prioritization of getting people put in jail with the imprisonment card. Right. Now, with this prioritization with the Hierophant, and I talked about the whole system getting revamped. Why is this card here? Like I said, you're going to be dealing with people. Why are you saying probation? Only blie and torturing and dying. That's how they talk. And why are you saying Gascony recall? Why? Dying now. Again. That's how they talk. And they move slowly because they're from like a different like dimension. Right. So there's a prioritizing in terms of getting the rats locked up. And this is called rat management, which is actually a public health model that I crafted. Well, I just downloaded, I brought it down. In order for people to see, there's 37 likes in the chat, to see that this is very much possible to like really contain ratchetry and fuckery. And that's what's being prioritized right now. I'm so sorry. I don't want to fund people getting sex changes. Go sit down. I'm so sorry. I don't care that you have 17 names or whatever. I'm so sorry. I don't care that you like want to play games with people's kids and like you're calling after school programs. I'm so sorry. I don't care that you like think that you're doing something with COVID and that's just made up in a lab. Daisy wrote a book about it. Everyone's using it. Goodbye. I don't care about that. Let's fund this war. There are organizations, nonprofits, and even churches that have gone to their board of directors and gotten approval to get $50,000 for guns or a hitter. I know somebody might not care. That's what's happening in the office right now. Dying, annoyed. That's how these people talk, and you want to go play games. Anyways, clarify prioritizing. Team Swordside. And most of them are from Zorzai, which is the warrior planet. And you got the main female. Yep, we are prioritizing the main female. The community is, because we are the official people, right? And they're prioritizing the official person to deal with the karmic. So you're going to start to find out, like, hey, the police are like, hey, do you want to get out of your charges? Here, my camera's on. Nah, because I found out what was going on with the police, too. They're feeding people human meat and starting shit and playing with magic and Stephanie. And she's out there in Turkey eating ass. And they're talking about, like, we're not going to get money anymore because the police have been defunded. Prioritizing Hierophant. Now I'm going to join your ranks. Like, hey, I'm ex-military. How can I join with y'all? Oh, okay. No one cares. Prioritizing of the official person, aka the enforcer, meaning the enforcer. What does it mean to be an enforcer? So you know laws, and I said this thing like, nah, you need to go sit down. That's the enforcer because I have a specific akasha to do so. Now there's something called false enforcement where they play with the akasha of a real enforcer, try to give it to another person. That does not work. It starts hella wars. That's how they started slavery. They tried to go do false enforcement on the 5th Earth, which is Um's planet. Now, some of you guys have seen this planet, and it's in that Missy Elliott video. Thank you, Missy. Hey, oh, no, whoa, right. So You know that song, "Suck It to Me Like You Want to." Who? I be going low with the backstroke. Hey, that music video had hella different planets. Those are all Um's planets. Those are all planets in space. One of them was Zorzai. It's actually Zorzai. Yes. So when they started playing like with Missy like that, and she was just like, "I'm in space and I like all this cool retro stuff," they were playing in her Akasha because she's like that in space, like, not with like the outfits and stuff like that, like, but really, but she's like very like celestial, and I like different things. And now you got all these la da dee da da dee da dee da copying her, right? But that started in hip hop and with Crystal Waters. But she's homeless. She's homeless. Who, by the way, she's also an enforcer of the psychic reality. So there's enforcers in the psychic reality. There's enforcers in the plant reality. There's enforcers in the justice system. There's been false enforcement. There's going to be a prioritizing of real enforcers. Why am I in jail if I'm an enforcer? Hey, you're getting out today. Thank you. All of a sudden, the game's in trouble. You better not trust him. Right. So now there's something here where ratchet bitches that don't have an enforcer Akasha. Well, I know I'm an enforcer. Killing men that don't want to sleep with you doesn't make you an enforcer. Well, I know I'm an enforcer. Killing your best friend and getting his like girlfriend pregnant with love spells doesn't make you an enforcer. Makes you a karmic. And that's how you get hit with that stick real quick, right? Hit him with that stick, make his whole body flip. Hey, right? So there's a resurgence of that. Okay. Now, let's listen. Clarify opposition here. What is this opposition with the Seven of Swords and the Tower and the Devil? Yeah, you got despair, and you got poverty, and you got adjudication, right? And then you got thief right here. Yeah, there's an opposition to people thieving ass motherfuckers and hoes. I don't care. Like that's hella disgusting for you to build your whole entire community and economy and lifestyle of thieving. I'm not. I'm not with that. Thank you. There's like a resurgence of honor and integrity. There is a complete opposition and warfare against all that is dishonorable. So if you want to be a dishonorable ass motherfucker, there's an Akasha for that. Yeah, you can get that Akasha. But if you want the enforcer Akasha so you can go run game on the planet, that's done. I got one. There's an app for that. There is. So now you got the adjudication and the poverty card with the despair in regards to the opposition because the karmic's adjudication. Opposition, what do you mean I got like a false judgment? What do you mean they denied my case because I was like lying and starting shit? What do you mean they didn't charge him? That nigga can get out of jail and kill me, right? What do you mean I'm getting removed from like the bench? Excuse me, why are you arresting me during my court case? And I'm a judge here. Get up, you're removed. Thank you. Here's a new judge. Thank you so much. You're getting out of jail today. That's what's happening right now. Right now. There's a complete opposition to the dishonorable bullshit that they do on this planet. It's over. It's only bringing poverty and despair. How insensitive, right? Who cares? So now with the devil card in the opposition, there's also an opposition to bitches that play games with the devil to escape judgment, right? But there's also an opposition from people that didn't really understand spell work and rituals and the spiritual reality. There's an opposition. I don't care what it is. I don't care what color the candle is or wasn't. I don't give a fuck. Turn that shit off, put her in jail. There's an opposition to all that. Like, oh, you need this to be proven and that to be proven. There's an opposition to that whole evidence-based practicing. You need peer-reviewed science. You guys are all frauds. There's something called retraction. And retraction is when people put out scientific articles in paper and they get pulled back because they're false. Hierophant. There's been a huge pushback against false scientists and shit like that because of some of the information that's been coming out. So, what you're going to see here is people like completely like opposed to playing with the devil. I don't give a fuck if he's a Freemason or a Rosicrucian. They're doing the same thing. One is not better than the other. Get rid of all of them. There's that right here. There's that right here. It's no longer like, oh, well, you can do stupid shit and goofy shit and cause a bunch of drama and chaos and fuckery and survive. Now it's straight like death, the tower getting hit up, and it's over. And that's the message that I just had for you right now. And I'll do these readings a little bit more often so you guys can see what's been coming down. And again, you guys, it's like, let me pull out the Bible. Okay, let's divinate. Let's see what we need today. I've been called to go to the Book of Kings. Take me to the King. Right. Book of Kings. Nope. There we go. Thank you. It's interesting. And it says here, this is like Kings chapter 6. And I'm over here on verse, let me see, verse 23. And this is talking about Solomon, right? Where he came down to come and build his like whole like temple and sanctuary where they were just having like a bunch of sex and doing threesomes because he was a karmic. Okay. Now, there's a real King Solomon, and he's like dark skinned like me. Whoops. And he's from a place that we knew as Ethiopia. You guys play too much. They're such Kushites. Like Queen of Sheba, she ate something hot and like got into bed with him. That's called like non-consensual sex, and that's how you start a bunch of bullshit in space. But anyways, it says here, in the inner sanctuary, he made two cherubim, 15 feet high out of olive wood. One wing of the first cherubim was 7 feet long, and the other was 7 feet long. The wingspan was 15 feet from tip to tip. The second cherubim was also 15 feet. The first cherubim's height was 15 feet, so was the second cherubim's. Then he put the cherubim inside the inner temple. Since their wings were spread out, the first one's wing touched the other one wall, while the second cherubim's wing touched the other wall. And in the middle of the temple, their wings were touching wing to wing. He also overlaid the cherubim with gold. And some of you guys know when you talk about the cherubim and the seraphim, they're talking about like the 144, like twin flames that are supposed to go out and like fight these demons in these battles. And he's talking about like they're talking about basically when he came and like carved these beings out of a specific wood that's enchanted so that they take on form. And the cherubim and that being that he's talking about is the black dove. It's like a bird that's related to the crow and the black dove because they're in the same family. You don't see a black dove on the planet. Thank you for a reason. So this is basically talking about you taking form and you upgrading yourself to be able to take on any form, prioritizing in this warfare. But then they're talking about how it was this cherubim was covered in gold. And also, too, again, Leo energy. And we're talking about refining yourself and purifying yourself because you guys are about to go with your twin and go with your mate. So if you're not fighting warfare now, and if you're not trying to be the highest high priest or highest high priestess, you better get ready to have war waged on you. Now, a lot of you guys have been spending your time on twin and see the maid and love spells and da 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 and this and this and that, and you just want to hear what you want to hear. And I knew you were telling the truth because she told me to focus on working. And why would you tell me to do that? You want me to let go of my twin. You're just a stalker and he has a restraining order on you. Now, some of you guys have been studying. Those of you guys who have been studying and doing what you need to do, you're going to be formed and fashioned out of a new element that they cannot penetrate. And you're going to go be off with your twin, fighting battles, flying high in the sky. I'll fly with you, do, 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 right? Gigi D'Agostino stuff. By the way, my peacock is real. And by the way, that did happen in Florida. And by the way, someone did die. So now, that's what I have for kings, but I feel like I need to keep divinating. That was more than enough, right? These two birds formed in fashion out of a specific olive wood. Now that same olive wood comes from an olive tree. Now that olive tree is one that's not on the planet, and that's used to make a different type of cocaine leaf. Yes, I'm not going to talk about that. They're saying that the wood is carrying a specific intelligence to form and fashion any form. Here we go. Let's keep on going. Yes. Let's go to the book of Exodus, chapter 8. And it says here, then the Lord, or the Lord, or Larid, it's like a high priest. It's like, oh, he's a Larid, like, oh, he's a high priest, but he's sexy. Like that type of thing. Oh, he's Larid, right? Then the Larid said to Moses, go tell Pharaoh, go into Pharaoh and tell him, this is what the Lord says. Let my people go so that they may worship me. But if you refuse to let them go, then I will plague you. I will plague all your territory with frogs. The Nile will swarm with frogs. He will come up and go into your palace, into your bedroom and on your bed, into the houses of your officials and your people, and into your ovens and kneading bowls. The frogs will come up on you, your people, and all of your officials. The Lord then said to Moses, the Lord then said to Moses, tell Aaron, stretch out your hand with your staff over the rivers, canals, and ponds, and cause the frogs to come up onto the land of Egypt. Or basically go poison that nigga for playing on OnlyFans and Fashion Nova. When Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Egypt, the frogs came up and covered the land of Egypt. But the magicians did the same thing by their occult practices and brought frogs up onto the land of Egypt. Pharaoh summoned Moses and Aaron said, appeal to the Lord to remove the frogs from me and my people. Then I will let the people go and they can sacrifice to the Lord. Moses said to people, you may have the honor of choosing. When should I appeal on behalf of you, your officials and your people, that the frogs be taken away from you and your houses and remain only in the Nile? Tomorrow, he answered. Moses replied, as you have said, so that you may know there is no one like Lord our God. The frogs will go away from you, your houses, your officials, and your people. The frogs will only remain in your Nile. After Moses and Aaron went out from Pharaoh, Moses cried out to the Lord for help concerning the frogs that he had brought against Pharaoh. The Lord did as Moses had said. The frogs in the houses, courtyards, and fields died. They piled them in countless heaps, and there was a terrible order in the land. Now, listen to what he is saying in this whole article. You don't let my people go, I'm going to bring a plague onto the land. And that's rat management. Okay. There's another system called APE. It's action, punishment, and execution. Okay. Now, the frogs will come on you and your people and all your officials. Like we just talked about elected officials and why jail and dying in Ufkai site when you boil somebody in a certain like chemical and then you know how that goes. Now, he said, well, I'm bringing these frogs. And the Pharaoh said, okay, well, I can do the same, right? I can do more. That's what he's basically saying, but he couldn't do more, right? So he was mad at Moses because Moses could do more. And I can now, in this instance, he said, oh, please, I will stop abusing your people and starting a bunch of shit if you release this curse. He said, okay, I'll start then. I'll take all these out of everywhere and just keep them right here. It still smells and it's still horrible. Exactly. Precisely. Enforcer, I might be. Meaning, you're not going to tell me what the fuck to do. God told me to come here and curse you. So if you want to play games and do this and do that and let me hold people hostage and I'm going to maybe do this and maybe do that and ha la la and I'll think about it, let me just be goofy with you. That's basically what Moses is saying, right? So in hood, it's like, hey, stop like shooting at me every day. Oh, okay. Let me just hit you with the bullet. That's not what I said. That type of thing. At work, excuse me, can you like stop like reducing my hours? Oh, let me just fire you then. Like it's like that is happening now. And this is so timely that this came up, right? In the book of Exodus. And Exodus means like for something to move out and leave. Like we talked about getting banned from planets. That's what Exodus is, right? By the way, they wrote this chapter of Exodus, and it was actually about a specific federation that was playing games with threesomes and starting hella shit, just like Solomon and Sheba and them. Sheba's also a karmic, right? And they made this book to make it seem like, no, we were being like abused by the Pharaoh, and we shouldn't be like only dependent on US aid on this planet now. Because they got banned into this planet. You want to come and play with the Bible? Come stay here. Why are we here? Okay. So now you may have the honor of choosing, right? And there's like something where I was like, there's something where an option versus a choice. You can choose for me to move this right now, but an option for it to go completely is not there. So now motherfuckers are realizing there's options and choices. Everybody got choices. This motherfucker decided he wanted to enslave a bunch of people and start drama. God said, I'm gonna bring a bunch of fucking stupid ass frogs that have poison and do a bunch of drama and nonsense and make a whole bunch of noise and hey, yeah, yeah, because that's what they talk in space. These frogs, that's what they go, yeah, yeah, yeah. They'll be in your house. Oh. These ones talk, right? They're like a type of yokai that makes noise. One of them is an otter. Whoa. How is your day? That's how they talk, and that's how they were like starting shit. So it wasn't just the smell, it's also the poison. There's also the screaming, right? And that's what he's saying. Right. And all the dust of the land became gnats throughout the land of Egypt. The magicians tried to produce gnats using their occult practices, but they could not. The gnats remained on people and animals. And look how stupid this motherfucker is, like Moses and the magicians. Well, you can be destructive because we deserve it for karma, so I'm gonna be more destructive. So if you block me from like accessing you on your phone, I'm gonna hack your phone and put your number online, like shit like that. But then that brings more chaos and more drama. That's going deeper into the book of Exodus, right? And then by the time it ends, the Pharaoh is dead and he's like dragged off to the gallows, aka the Dua. And that's that. And all the magic is just deactivated just like that. Right? Because it was God still showing you that I run that shit too, ho. So when I tell him to come and tell you a message, you better fucking listen because I'm the master enforcer and I sent him to go do enforcement. And that's what I'm talking about with this opposition and this like prioritization of who the enforcer is. God was prioritizing Moses here, right? Because he was going up to go talk to people and tell people this and that and do good. He wasn't prioritizing the karmic. like Pharaoh, like, well, I want you to move. And he was like being like funny. Oh, isn't that so funny? You have the honor of choosing. He's like being funny, like, oh, you can choose, right? Like sarcastic, right? And now you guys are coming to realize, like, oh, God has a say so at the end of the day. It doesn't matter how many rituals I did, how much drama I started, nothing. Doesn't matter how many people I think I set up. At the end of the day, I have to pay. Now there's something who are understand that the spiritual weight that they don't have is going to be what gets them into that like door. Take me to the king or the queen, right? That's like LaShawn Pace. Take me to the king, right? Speaking of, she was killed, and there's a lot of drama going on with that with Kamala Harris and messy ass AKAs and deltas. So be very careful what you get into, because at the end of the day, all that magic was deactivated. Anything you can do, I can do better. Not really, because you see all these gnats and frogs everywhere, right? So, anyways, that's all I have to say. Let's not speculate. Let's divinate. Guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope this really helps. Have a great day. Bye.